Good morning. Today is July 6th. Where is the time going? Hopefully you stayed cool this weekend. Today we're going to read, we share a common humanity. When you interact with others today, remind yourself that we all share a common humanity. So you're never alone, even if you're in a crazy home and you kind of wish you were. We move through life with human bodies, minds, and hearts, and we all share similar physical experiences and feel the same emotions. With each person you encounter today, try to look for those commonalities. Like you, each other person has plans, hopes, and dreams. Invite yourself to soften and accept their dreams with the same value and reverence you hold for your own. So think of sameness, not separateness. When we recognize that we all want similar things in life, it becomes easier to be supportive of others. Our commonalities offer us lessons of compassion and support. So just when you feel yourself, especially if you live alone, sorry, my allergies are bad, imagine that everything that you're feeling and going through is similar to everybody else. You're not alone. As much as we think especially our tragedies are unique to us, there is something similar that other people are going through. So hopefully that's comforting. I think that's why when people have a friend tell them something bad's happened to them, our human nature is to repeat back a story that's similar to us. We think it's comforting in the moment, but for some people they feel mad. They want to kind of revel in their own sadness in that moment. So I'm torn. Maybe give me your feedback. When you're feeling down and you hear someone tell you a similar story, do you find that hopeful because you get to hear the resolution? Or do you want people just to be silent and listen? Today I thought we'd continue working on hips. I got to go paddleboarding for the first time this weekend. It was so beautiful on the Black River, which was very quiet, shallow still yesterday during what was supposed to be a heat wave. But I actually thought out of all my friends, Yana would appreciate it the most. It was so quiet, and this river is in Sutton, secret place. I can't even remember how to get there. And you continue on the river, and then before you know it, you're in the mouth of the Lake Simcoe, and there's all the chaos and boats and fancy houses. But before you reach that point, there's all these really sweet, interesting cottages. I saw a mink, an otter, a heron came near us a couple times, so many turtles. Like, it's just really beautiful and calm, and it's exactly what I needed. So my yoga teacher goes there at least once a week, and she finds it basically even better than moving meditation because at least you're doing something physical during that time. I thought we would continue with the plank challenge, but we'll stick to 2 minutes. I am completely out of shape. I haven't done it in a week, I think. So we'll start with some breathing. I want you to sit on your bottom. This week I've noticed that the top of my foot, that spot where I'm always encouraging you to stretch, for me, it's been uncomfortable the last few days, and I realized when I wear flip-flops and not my ugly, comfortable Birkenstocks, all my body weight is pressing down on these bones and this tissue. So yesterday when I was supposed to sit on my knees with my feet tucked for 5 hours, it was impossible, and I kept sitting in staff pose or Dandasana, or I would take one leg out, one leg in. So I wanted to get to the bottom of why is that part of my foot hurting, because I'm sure a lot of my students have at least one part of their foot that is uncomfortable, especially as we age, and the collagen production slows down our body after 50, and so that there's this stretching sensation that happens from my body weight and the air pressure of just being alive, pressing down on those little bones. So come into whatever comfortable position you can. We're going to take our palms on our knees, whether you're sitting on your knees or you're sitting upright, shoulders back, sit up nice and straight. And as I sit back, I feel that innate tugging inside for me it's inside my pelvis, because I can't slump forward. So if I sit up, all these muscles are encouraged to activate to keep me upright that I might not be aware of when I'm sitting in a chair. Notice the sits bones pressing down to the floor. If my shoulders are up, I want to let them droop. You have to consciously bring those shoulders down. Head is stacked, so think of your body as nice and straight. And if you're ever able to do this in front of a mirror, look over and see what your posture looks like. You're going to take a big breath in through the nose. So you can't get any more in, pause, and exhale through the mouth. We'll do that 3 times to slow down our sympathetic nervous system. Inhale through the nose. Pause, and exhale through the mouth.
And one more time. Inhale through the nose. Pause. And exhale through the mouth. Just sit with that for a moment. Then slowly slide back to breathing in and out through the nose, continuing to slow everything down. And as you're breathing and slowing down the breath, notice what the physical body is doing in response. Where's the tugging and resistance? And then take your mind to the opposite side of the spectrum. Where is the surrender? As you're sitting up straight, instead of being angry or agitated by tension, maybe in your ankles or your lower back, take your brain to those areas and imagine that just noticing the tension in the body or the resistance, that's part of the meditation, that noticing, that zeroing in. I'm going to lead you through 5 guided breath rounds, and then you'll continue for 5 more on your own. Eyes are closed, or you could softly stare at a spot on the floor. Inhale 1 to capacity. Pause. Exhale 1. Pause. Inhale 2 to capacity. Pause. Exhale 2. Inhale 3 to capacity. Pause. Exhale 3. Inhale 4 to capacity. Pause. Exhale 4. And one more time. Inhale 5 to capacity. Pause. Exhale 5. And then very slowly, actually if you can make your way onto the floor, and you do it with your eyes closed, I'm just going to grab a strap, and I encourage you to grab a strap if you can. So that, somebody just stole my strap. So we're going to do a bit of floor work selfishly because I would like to help my lower back and my hips, and this will benefit everybody. We're going to bring our bum close to the heels, and I want you to take your time coming down in your spine. Maybe even close your eyes and visualize your spine as a string of semi-precious stones or pearls. So as I engage I don't even have to engage my core really. I'm going to tuck my chin and lay my lower back down. And then slowly I'm at my mid-back. So I might stop with my forearms and then imagine still chin to chest because that's going to spread out that space between each vertebrae. And then slowly lower down. Arms are wide or 45. And I'm continuing that visual of a string of pearls. Finally, my chin is still to my chest. I lay my skull down. Let's take 2 breaths here in constructive rest. And your arms are either wide, 45, or T. You can even walk your heels closer to your bum or inchworm your bum close to your heels. So this is the longest I can stretch my spine pretty effortlessly, and that's the whole point of constructive rest. I instinctively do this pose whenever I'm expected to stretch out my legs. Say you're getting a massage. Spread out your fingers, anchor the nails into the floor of your hands, then the bones in the back of your hands, and then the bones in the back of your wrists, the flesh wrapped around your forearm bones, elbows, biceps, shoulder blades, and finally rib cage and spine. Heavy and relaxed. Inhale. Let's do 5 breaths here. Inhale 1. Pause. Exhale 1. Feel that back body pressing into the floor. Inhale 2. Pause. Exhale 2. Press the whole back flesh into the floor as you breathe out. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Pause. Exhale 4. And last one, if you can press your your thumbnails down. Inhale 5. Pause. Exhale 5. 2 more breaths here without me talking. Okay, instead of rushing into spinal twist, I'm going to take my hands to my hip bones, which is just on the outside of your abdomen. And this pose is to stabilize the SI joint in the lower back. So it's going to require internal awareness. I wouldn't be able to see what you're doing. You might not be able to see what you're doing. You're going to keep your knees together. Press the right knee forward, and you might feel a shift in the hip or the lower back, and then back to neutral. Press the left knee forward, but keeping those knees together. My feet are staying on the floor. And I feel a very tiny intrinsic tugging inside the left hip, and back to neutral. Right knee forward. You might feel a lift on the right butt cheek or the back of the hip, and back to neutral. And left knee forward, and neutral. Let's do 2 more rounds, and notice if your dominant side feels different than your non-dominant. And I would like you to tell me in email or call if you didn't feel anything in this experience, because it's very subtle. It took me a long time to understand what was being asked. Knees are together, hands on your hips. Right knee presses forward, so you're almost pressing your knee forward, but you can't lift anything. Relax. Left knee forward. There's kind of it's been likened to the old-fashioned ice cube trays when you twist it kind of on an angle to get the ice out. That's what I'm doing in my pelvis. Right knee forward last time, and release. And left knee forward, and release. And let's do a pose that we normally do with a block. We're going to do it without a block. Right knee in, left leg extend, but it dangles. Don't let that left heel touch the floor. You're going to pull the right knee in, left heel dangles, shoulders stay down. And so normally we do this on a block. Maybe tomorrow we'll move it up to the next level, and by Wednesday we'll move to the highest level. So it's the same as single leg wind relieving pose. It's the same as the setup for single leg spinal twist. But my left heel's dangling, feet are softly pointed. 2 more breaths. And the more you can let go or surrender in that left hip, that's where the action's happening. And this is in, I think it's SI and something else. And then back to both feet on the mat, knees together. Maybe bring your bum back to your heels again. Left side, left leg in, hands interlace on the shin. Right leg extends. And then lift your right heel 1 inch off the floor, so the leg's dangling. I wonder if you did this off of the edge of your bed, so that your hip is on the bed and your leg is dangling. That would be very intense. 1 more breath, inhale. Exhale, let that right heel be heavier. Look for the surrender. And 1 more time, inhale, pulling left thigh in, right heel's dangling. And release. Both feet to the mat, arms wide, and tiny windshield wiper, but legs are close together. We're trying to break out of that habit of what we did when we were in our classes physically together. Side to side. So for some of us, this is enough. I'm rocking at my sacrum, and it's very tiny what's happening. If I want a deeper hip stretch, I'm going to walk my feet as wide as the mat and let the knees fall. Right windshield wiper, back to center. Left windshield wiper, and back to center. And you're going back and forth looking for that contrast between discomfort and delicious. One side may feel better than the other. Look for the spot. And don't always look for the pleasure in a pose. I just threw out a yoga card that said, just when you want to leave a pose is when the yoga starts to actually happen. Up until then, it's a habit. You know what it's going to feel like. You know what your edge is. If you're a stretchy person, your edge keeps moving. And when you hit this level where your body and your brain and your ego want to leave it, that's where the yoga has to stay with something that causes discomfort. Remember, the lotus grows only in the mud. Next time your knees are to the right, let them fall as low as they naturally want to go without you forcing it. Arms to a T, palms turned up. Can you stay here 5 breaths? So this is going to drive fur nuts because we're doing low, slow. But I've had a lot of feedback, and most of you seem to really love the long 5 breath holds. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Can you feel that sense of release or letting go or surrender? Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. Inhale 5. Exhale 5. And back, back up. Then we're going to do the other side. Knees flop wide to the left. Maybe walk your legs as wide as it feels good. Oh, I notice a definite difference on this side. Inhale 1. Exhale 1. Inhale 2. Exhale 2. Inhale 3. Exhale 3. Inhale 4. Exhale 4. And inhale 5. Exhale 5. Back to center. Oh. And delicious knees to chest, double leg windmilling pose or little boat. Initially, I'm going to rock side to side. On the paddleboard, we did the seated version. I sat on a yoga block for all those hours. Eventually, my tailbone and sits bones were crying. So I was like, what do fishermen do? People who sit in boats for long periods of time. So I need to find a waterproof gel seat. Let's take both knees with help over to the left, double leg spinal twist. Right arm released nice and wide, palm turned up. The weight of my left hand is going to come to these stacked knees. So I look down and I can see my knees aren't properly stacked because my hips must be tight. So I'm going to come back into alignment. That means lifting up that right shoulder. Flex the feet. Left hand's going to anchor these. And then I'm going to drop my right arm out. And I can barely touch the floor today. So that's going to be my, I'm going to start there. Oh my. So maybe turn your palm down. And attempt to bring part of that arm to the floor, the right arm. Oh. And I'm looking up. As soon as I bring that arm down, the knees come out of alignment. So how about for a moment, ignore the aligned knees. Bring your right arm down. Maybe turn it palm down. So the inner right arm, bicep, shoulder, all on the floor. Two more breaths. And then back to center, little boat. Okay, let's take knees to the floor on the right. Stack them. Look at what stacked knees would be. Then I'm going to take my left arm out, and I know I can barely move. Now maybe this is from the paddling. I can't even touch the floor today. So I'm going to disregard those aligned knees. Bring my left palm to the floor, so I'm internally rotating the arm today. Oh my. Spread the left fingers, anchor. Notice the resistance inside. Maybe it's your pec, arm, lower back, shoulder. Oh my God, so tight. And then back to center. Little boat or circles. Maybe tomorrow we're doing shoulders. Let's bring right leg in tight. Left foot slides straight. I feel like I'm moving down the mat. I brought in my old faithful Manduka rubber mat. What a difference. Slowly sliding left leg straight. Pull the right leg in. So thanks for your patience last week. We cleaned up the flooding 3 different times, but now it's a new pump under control. Gave me a chance to organize the mats and all the props. So, if you're like me and you love single leg wind relieving pose, your hands might be on the shin or they might be on your thigh behind the shin. Whichever is able to get the shoulders, lower back to the mat. 2 more breaths here. Your choice, soft feet or flexed. Finally, left hand takes right knee over, single leg spinal twist. Let's focus on the shoulder girdle staying grounded, and who cares how far over this leg goes. Oh. And Actually, I should bring a stack of blocks under this right knee. So tight. And then back to center. Little boat. Left leg in tight, right leg extends. We'll do 3 breaths in single leg windmill leaning pose. And finally, right hand takes left knee over single leg spinal twist. But keep that left shoulder grounded, palm down or up, whatever's easier, more comfortable. Back to center. Little boat. Knees wide, and we're going to hold the knees for a moment, let your ankles dangle, and use the lower back pressing into the floor as kind of a counter pressure. 2 more breaths here. Let gravity help open the inner thighs and the hips. Option to come into setup for happy baby. That might feel good. Counter pressure behind the thighs. Option to come into full happy baby if that's available to you today. Stillness or rocking side to side. And then coming back to stillness, just pause. Actually, let's keep your right hand, your right foot or right ankle. Release the left leg, and we'll do half of happy baby on the right side. I'm going to gently imagine pulling that right knee to the earth. And then back, right foot to the mat. Left knee comes towards left armpit and come onto the left side of happy baby. You might have the right hip lifting a little as you imagine bringing left knee towards the earth. Back to happy baby and rocking side to side. We'll come back to stillness. Take the soles of our feet together, binding around the blades. And then releasing your feet to the mat, soles together, knees out to the side, palms are resting on your hips, or open into cactus in reclined goddess. Franca's pose. Close your thighs, knees to chest, little boat. And then feet in the air. Let's point and flex a few times. Fan out your toes. Roll out your ankles, and I'm looking for in myself that sound of cracking bones. Maybe make a fist and spread, fist spread, fist spread. Then we're going to hold right hand, interlace both hands behind the right thigh, and lower the left leg out of the way. Let's take 2 breaths here. This is more of a hamstring stretch. Roll out your ankle or stay still to flex foot. And then I want to take that strap to the ball of my right foot. Heel over knee, knee over hip. Stillness or stirring that leg. And then we'll we'll take both straps in the right hand, release the weight of that leg out to the side. I can feel some resistance. And then back up, both straps in your left hand, and take that leg just across the midline. So tight. And back to center. Release the strap. Thighs to chest, little boat or circles. Feet in the air once more. Right foot flex. Lower that leg out of the way. Massage your left leg, but most importantly, we're going to at least interlace our hands. Stay here for a moment. Then we'll take our strap to the ball of our left foot. Draw a few circles, whatever you need to do. And then release the weight of that leg out to the side. Back to center. Strap into the right hand, flex, take it across the midline. And back to center. Get rid of the strap. Thighs to chest, little boat. And then we're going to roll on our side. Take 2 breaths in kind of a fetal position. And then press yourself upright. So, I'm going to be lazy and let's do 1 minute plank today. And we'll come back. I know Fern goes longer. This is a little selfish because I haven't done my plank in a while. So coming in a tabletop, we'll do a quick cat-cow, bottom in the air, slowly coming back and forth. Inhale, inhale, exhale into cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat. Inhale, cow, exhale, cat, and then coming to neutral. Step back, high plank. Maybe we will do 2 minutes. Okay, Fern, you've talked me into it. 2 minutes, so. My head is in line with my spine. You're picking up your head so that you're not dropping it. Anytime I drop my head, my bum, my belly, my hips, I'm adding too much weight to my wrists and my lower back. You've done 30 seconds. We're almost at a minute. Okay, there's 1 minute. I'm just going to press into a dog for a nanosecond. Stretch my arms, my back, up on my tiptoes, and then come back to finish my other minute. Okay, 30 more seconds, guys. We can do it. More seconds, 5 more seconds. Awesome! 2 minute plank. Take a little break. Maybe you're going to take extended child's pose or wide leg child's pose. And then upright. So sometimes we do our thread the needle. I think there's a floor variation. Oh man,
I have the feeling that you have not been able to see me. I can't tell because I have a low battery warning. So, sometimes we do a thread the needle on our back. There is a variation where I bend my knees. I'm gonna bring right foot flexed onto left knee. And then, try to walk that left foot closer to you, sitting upright. This is intense. So I can keep the left foot on the floor without any assistance, or I can take my hand through the leg, intertwine my hands behind that left thigh. This is our other variation. Super amazing. Flex that right foot, push the right knee away, and can you walk it in? That is so intense. Trying to sit up straight. I'm gonna stay here for 2 more breaths. And release. And my music's about to stop. Oh. Just 1 sec. Comedy of errors today. Every time Steve updates something in our studio, in terms of technology, it messes with my samskaras. They're my habits. Okay, back to bent knees. Left foot flexes onto right knee. Oh my, and I can't even do this side. I'm gonna try to walk that right foot towards me. Foot is flexed, barely happening on this side. So it is Monday. We know that our hips will be more compliant as the week goes on. I'm gonna take 1 more breath here and then release. Shake it out. Roll at your ankles, fan your toes. We're not gonna get to any sun salutations today. We did more floor work than normal. I'm gonna take my legs wide and pause for a moment. What did the Monday body feel like to you? I'm feeling a huge difference in my mobility, and for all of us, it could be too much activity or not enough activity. So we're gonna come into wide leg, feet are flexed, sit up straight, close your eyes, become still. And we start to notice where is the tension in your body today. Listen to your body pointing out the zones that are tight or imbalanced in the beginning of your week. You sit up a little straighter. So I'm going to shift back my weight into my tailbone. My heels are still grounded. Shifting further back because that's going to turn on my core and my hamstrings. And now we're going to do the opposite. We're going to shift our weight forward. So now my inner thighs and my hamstrings are doing the work. Forward, back. Shift back to that tailbone. Inner thigh work. Shift forward. What do you notice? And come back. What do you notice? And let's just do this a few times because you're noticing, hopefully you're falling deeper into mobility the more we gently nudge each direction of our range of motion. Forward, back, forward, back. Forward 1 more time. Back. And I'm going to stop for a moment in neutral. Let's bring right leg in, nestling the sole of that foot into your inner thigh. Sit up straight. Now we're going to do the same experiment, but with a bent leg, so it's not so much pressure on the hamstrings. Forward, back. And you might notice that this movement feels better or easier with 1/2 of your body working on it, not the other half. Forward, back. And 1 more time. Forward, back. Maybe even take your hands behind you and add a chest opener. Oh, that feels amazing. I have my hands behind me, heart rising to the sky, almost like when we're working in fish. You can even look at yourself if you're beside a mirror and see that deep opening of the chest, and then back to neutral. Open and back to neutral. So we're rocking the hip and opening the chest, and then back to neutral. Let's come out, legs roll out the ankles, and we'll do our last side. Right leg out, left leg in. Sit up nice and straight. I feel instantly a difference in my balance here. I'm gonna do forward, back, forward, back. Acknowledge that your body is gonna feel different on one side than the other. Some of it's anatomy, some of it is our lifetime. And one more time, forward, back. This time I'm gonna add my hands behind me and add that heart opener again. Fingers are tented, I'll show you from the side. Fingers are tented, and I'm gonna puff up my chest and then relax. Puff up, oh, that feels really good. And then relax, puff, and then relax. Shake out your legs. And let's do one more of what we just began with, forward back, but with both legs out again. Should feel a little looser, a little juicier. Forward, back. Shift back on those bones. Forward. Close your eyes as you come back up to upright, possibly leaning back. What's happening in your hip flexors? This is a lot more passive than when we do a really intense hip stretch. 3 more rounds of forward 1, back 1, forward 2, back 2, forward 3, back 3, and relax. So I'm gonna do, let's see what cards, this is the first box. I smartly finally corralled all my cards and readings into one basket so we can have variety. This one is about abundance. When you hear the word abundance, it could be health, it could be financial, it could be intelligence, it could be literally food out of your garden. But let's see what it says to us today. Oh, that's gonna one more time. Okay, top card. Whenever you're in conflict with someone, don't hold on to your feelings of anger or resentment. Send your love to that person and think of them with wholehearted love. This will open the door to reconciliation and forgiveness. So whether they know that you're thinking that or not, at least it's set the tone. If you believe in like The Secret and what you put out there, it's kind of the same thing. I'm putting out that I need this to be resolved. So instead of sending out love, you don't want to be sending out anger and resentment. If I send out love, there's a possibility that I might actually then take action on that. I've set the seed in my head, I've started the ball rolling, and it's probably easier to follow through reconciling, forgiving, talking, restorative, all of that. Thank you so much for your effort. I hope you enjoyed today and that you're not too hot. Good in me sees the good in you. Namaste.